Well, you think about the cannabis plant, marijuana, it's called cannabis. It really has lots of different ingredients, but two primary ones. One is THC. That's the stuff that's the recreational drug. It's what gets people high, gives them that euphoria. And there's CBD, which is cannabidiol. It's something that doesn't cause a psychoactive component. It's believed to be a medicine. It's been used as a medicine in decades past, and it's getting this resurgence, as you just heard.
With issues comes medications, and with medications come side effects, and side effects cause more issues, and it's just kind of going from there. My friend was like, you know, Monique, have you ever considered using CBD oil? And I was like, well, no. I was like, it's not something I've ever looked into. I was like, but I'll take it into consideration. Well, I stopped at a local vape shop in Lafayette, and I know the owner, Miss Carmen, and no idea I'd ever heard about koi. I had no idea anything about koi whatsoever, and she could tell I was stressed. I hadn't slept in days, and she's like, Monique, she says, have you ever considered using CBD oil for you? This being the second time I've heard about it, you know, not specifically koi, but CBD oil coming up, and kind of piqued my interest. I'm like, okay, here we go again with the, you know, the CBD oil. I was like, well, no. She says, look, she said, try this. There's a bottle of koi. She said, and let me know what you think. We started off using 1,500 milligrams twice a day. You know, she was at the time 27 pounds, and that's what we started off with. Now that she's put on weight, she's over 32 pounds, we're using 3,000 milligrams, and we do it twice a day, sometimes 3, depending on how she's feeling, you know, the kind of day she's having. You know, we kind of go by that. She also uses the gummies as well, and it's working great for her. It really is. She's doing 1,000% better than she ever has. The greatest benefit is her having her childhood back. You know, she had no want, you know, no drive, you know, and when it was really bad, you could tell. She would just, Mama, hold me. Mom, please hold me. And if you look at her now, I can't get her to let me hold her. You know, she's independent. She's got back what I've wanted for her for so long. It's just a sense of normalcy. You know, she spent the past year and a half in and out of the hospital, you know, being stuck and put through things no kid should ever have to go through. You know, and koi has given me my baby back, a sense of normalcy for her childhood. You know, she can run and she can play, and, you know, at the expense of something so simple, you know, just, it's indescribable.
Many people wonder if CBD without THC exerts the same benefits as a combination of both compounds. Many people know THC as the psychoactive component of cannabis. It is responsible for producing the high that many people associate with cannabis. Even though THC produces the psychoactive effects, it does not produce all of the health benefits that cannabis has become known for. CBD on its own behaves in a different way within the body than THC does. This mechanism gives it a unique and special means of producing a positive effect on both physical and mental health. In this video, we will break down the way both THC and CBD work within the body, the differences between THC and CBD, and the benefits of taking CBD without THC. At Hempure, we remove all THC from our CBD oil. This is done through a multi-step process. The primary difference between CBD and THC comes in the ways in which they interact with the endocannabinoid system. THC actually binds to the receptors of the endocannabinoid system and mimics the actions of the endocannabinoids themselves. This is what gives THC its psychoactive effects. CBD, on the other hand, does not bind to the receptors within the endocannabinoid system. It works on the enzymes that are responsible for reuptaking the endocannabinoids after they have been used. CBD gives the body access to more of its own endocannabinoids. These endocannabinoids allow the ECS to carry out its functions with more ease. By improving the ECS, all systems of the body experience an increase in their function. This leads to massive increases in overall health and wellness. Does CBD oil work without THC? CBD oil does work without THC. While THC does produce some benefits and also side effects on its own, CBD oil without THC produces unique health benefits. CBD without THC promotes a healthy mental state. We all go through periods where we feel blue. CBD may help to turn these blues into a more positive state of mind. CBD acts as an agonist of 5-HT1A receptors. 5-HT1A receptors, also known as serotonin receptors, are thought to play a significant role in the regulation of mood and social behavior. By interacting with these receptors, CBD may help to promote a positive mental state. CBD promotes healthy sleep. Sleep is essential to a healthy life. With more than 30% of the population reporting significant troubles getting to sleep, the promise of a better sleep is one of the main reasons people report taking CBD. Even without THC, CBD can help you to get sleep. It can increase the amount of sleep you're getting if you aren't getting enough. The endocannabinoid system shows signs of regulating one of the key stages of sleep, NREM sleep. CBD may also help those that cannot fall asleep by the ways that it interacts with serotonin receptors. CBD oil without THC holds just as many benefits as a combination of both compounds. THC produces the psychoactive effects that are commonly associated with cannabis. CBD does not produce any psychoactive effects, but does have many mental health benefits on its own. CBD promotes healthy sleep, encourages a functioning digestive system, supports a positive mental state, and can help balance out the endocannabinoid system. When the endocannabinoid system is balanced, it can work to ensure that all other systems of your body are balanced. When all systems of the body are balanced, you'll experience optimal health.
Cannabidiol is capable of affecting nearly every biological process, including the functioning of the ECS. But it raises some eyebrows due to its source. Let's bust some myths. Myth 1. Hemp and marijuana are the same. Hemp and marijuana are part of the same species, both made up of around 100 cannabinoids, including CBD and THC, but there are significant differences. Hemp, for example, grows tall like bamboo and is harvested in over 30 countries. Marijuana plants, on the other hand, rarely exceed 5 feet in height and remain illegal to grow in most places. Myth 2. CBD from hemp can get you high. While CBD and THC are the two main compounds in these plants, CBD is non-psychotoxic. In other words, it can't get you high. Myth 3. Only CBD from marijuana impacts the ECS. The human body doesn't recognize whether CBD is sourced from hemp or a high THC strain of cannabis. The body's response to hemp-derived CBD is no less impactful.
Did you ever mess with CBD at all?
CBD.
You don't know what that is?
No.
No. Interesting. CBD is a non-psychoactive form of hemp.
Yeah.
And it's a radical inflammation fighter. And a lot of people that have like some pretty significant injuries to the brain, a lot of fighters take it like right after fights. CBD is amazing.
Okay.
And you know what's really good? There's some muscle balms that work really good on sore joints and stuff. I mean, but like, and nothing I've ever used before. Better than anything. CBD just gets right into the muscles and just relaxes all the inflammation. And the best part about it is it's 100% natural and no side effects.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
Right.
But in terms of like, there's a bunch of different CBD oils you can take, and you just they chill you out, but they don't get you high or anything.
Right.
You're not weirded
No.
out, but they just calm you down.
Right.
And I wonder how much that calming down is because of inflammation, just reducing inflammation, and it seems that your body knows what to do with it.
Yeah.
Your body's like, oh, I know what this is. This is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Beneficial or no?
So CBD can enhance your deep sleep cycles, all right, which is when a good majority of your neuronal repair and recovery occurs. THC allows you to sleep, and it actually decreases sleep latency, how long it takes you to fall asleep, but it does reduce the amount of time you spend in deep sleep. Right. So if you're one of those people whose mind races, who's hypercharged up when and you got to get to sleep at night, use THC, like hit a vape pen or whatever, but know that you might miss out on some of the things you want during deep sleep: memory consolidation, neuronal repair and recovery, nervous system repair. But it's still pretty decent sleep, and you're not getting as much of a reduction in deep sleep as you would get if you were to be taking like Ambien or Valium or something that's literally just like a sledgehammer for your frontal cortex that knocks you out, but you almost get no deep sleep. So if you do this, if you were to get like a sleep tracker and test your deep sleep levels, you would find that with CBD, you don't fall asleep as fast, but you get higher deep sleep levels. And then with THC, you can fall asleep faster, but your deep sleep isn't quite as high. When you consider that CBD can counteract a lot of the effects of THC, then that means that what you could try is take THC to allow you to fall asleep faster, but then pile a whole bunch of CBD on top of that. And I've done that before too, where you just take a hit on a vape pen and then take a bunch of CBD and you shoot for the best of both worlds.
Yeah, folks that are taking Ambien, especially people that are doing it virtually every night, that has got to have a profound effect on your brain's ability to recover.
I think there are a lot of people shorting themselves on life who are taking Ambien or Valium. I mean, I think to start with sleep, you need to rely on your body's own internal chemistry, and that would be breath.
Want to witness some history? Okay, back in the day, George and a few of our founding fathers had hemp farms. Yeah, a president grew his own. Look it up. It was normal. But you know what isn't normal? America's 80 years of unjust prohibition, which hasn't made us any safer. And then there's this. They came up with policies like stop and frisk, where anyone can get searched at any... All right, I'm getting a little off track, but the point is, these punishments have been harsh. Like 25 years in a prison, harsh. That's madness. Speaking of, you remember this classic bit of propaganda? Madness? How about wellness? How about everyday good people are using it to calm their pain, their stress, their anxieties? And a product that drove people to the black market is now creating a new global market. That's a lot of jobs. And the same thing that inspired the creators, the makers, and the disruptors. The symbol of counterculture is, at long last, just culture. It's normal again. Here's to the new normal.
For people who have issues like arthritis, and I had Joe Valtellini here, who's a former kickboxing champion. He's a commentator now for Glory. He told me that he was locked in a room after one of his concussions from his last fight, locked in a room in the dark for 3 weeks because he couldn't even see the light on the power button on a cell phone
get a migraine
to charge a cell phone, like the little red light where it shows you that would give him a headache. And so CBD oil cured him of that.
Everyone is talking about CBD and THC, which are two important chemicals found in marijuana. With marijuana legalization becoming mainstream, what is the actual difference between CBD and THC? Inside you right now, there's a biological pathway at work called the endocannabinoid system that helps regulate your mood, appetite, memory, and pain sensation. THC and CBD, though, hijack this system. This is the chemical structure of THC, also known as tetrahydrocannabinol if you are feeling fancy. And this is the chemical structure of CBD, also known as cannabidiol. What you may notice is that their chemical structures seem almost identical. They have the same molecular formula, which is C21H30O2, and both of their masses clock in at 314 grams per mole. But there is one extremely important structural difference. Where THC contains a cyclic ring, CBD contains a hydroxyl group, and this difference in biochemistry actually controls whether or not you feel high. In order to fully understand why, you need to first know about the CB1 receptor. In your unstoned, sober body, your CB1 receptor is affected by a neurotransmitter called anandamide, which controls generation of pleasure, motivation, and feeding behavior. In your unstoned body, anandamide is released after exercising, and it's what causes a runner's high. THC's structure is so similar to anandamide that it fits in perfectly to the CB1 receptor, therefore causing you to feel high. CBD, on the other hand, because of the hydroxyl group, is different in shape and does not fit into the CB1 receptor, therefore it doesn't make you feel high. But CBD does bind to other receptors in your cannabinoid system, affecting you in other ways. A lot of excitement came around a 2011 study where a few dozen people with social anxiety disorder were asked to speak in front of a large audience. Some were given CBD, some were given a placebo. Those who were given CBD reported significantly less anxiety. There are also many animal studies showing CBD's anti-anxiety and anti-inflammatory properties, which can explain why some people say it helps with their anxiety and with chronic pain. Research is also discovering that THC can actually aggravate psychotic symptoms, while CBD, on the other hand, may help with psychosis. So what happens when you consume them at the same time? One study found that due to CBD's biochemical shape, it can actually bind to the CB1 receptor and turn it off in a binding pattern known to biologists as allosteric inhibition. This means that CBD actually makes the THC unable to bind as well and therefore decreases how high you feel. If you vaporize marijuana with 25% THC and 0.1% CBD, you will feel high, as the THC is going to bind to the CB1 receptor with little interference from CBD. If you consume marijuana with 25% THC and 12% CBD, this more CBD will inhibit the THC from binding to the CB1 receptor, decreasing THC's effect and leading you to being less high. Where marijuana is legally sold, likely they will indicate what percentage of THC and CBD is in the product you are choosing, which will help you to understand the effects it will have on your body. In the end, THC is a chemical found in marijuana with a chemical structure that makes you feel high. CBD is a chemical found in marijuana with a different chemical structure that doesn't make you feel high, but it can affect your body in other less obvious ways. There is still conflicting research and a lot more to understand about both chemicals.
stand to lose money because CBD oil helps a lot of people with inflammation, a lot of people with chronic arthritis.
They're saying cancer.
Yeah.
There's a potential to cure cancer. I don't know. There's not enough studies, but hey,
yeah,
it's doing good
it certainly
things.
helps treat it. It treats inflammation, and inflammation, apparently, if you talk to doctors, they'll tell you it's a huge issue, and one of the biggest issues when it comes to diseases, discomfort, and things like arthritis again, and headaches. You know, like when you're taking a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory for a headache, like if you're taking an Advil or an ibuprofen, what you're taking is something that reduces inflammation. I mean, that's what it's for. And CBD oil does the same thing, but it's natural, it's healthy, it's not bad for you, and it doesn't get you high. It's not like...
CBD is an acronym for one of the cannabinoids in the cannabis plant. Honestly, as far as medicinal value, all of the cannabinoids are medicinal. But the association of THC is generally the fact that people use it to get high. CBD does not get you high, yet is known to relax you 9 times out of 10. The people that are using CBD really need CBD medically. Elite focuses on CBD. We do everything from breeding the seeds all the way to the extraction and purification process. Our products go through the gambit, really, from things that you could combust to skincare products. I personally have been a cultivator since 1996, and so I've had a lifelong passion for the plant. I came from an IT security background, ended up running one of the world's largest team of computer hackers, and during that time, I was still cultivating cannabis. But the real birth of the company to where everybody quit their jobs and said this is what we're gonna do professionally was when Colorado legalized in 2014. Our laboratory space is approximately 2,000 square feet. It's in a former clean room environment. All right, so we start with stripped plant material, and then we load that material into a column. That crude extraction comes out as an oleoresin. It goes from that into an alcohol bath, and that basically precipitates all of the waxes, fats, lipids out of the solution. And then we have to remove the alcohol from the oil in a rotary evaporator. You're using controlled heat, lots of vacuum, and a condenser. Once it is through that process, we fractionally distill the oil, which Removes impurities through a boiling point process, and essentially the purified substance crashes out of solution. It took us about 50 pounds of raw material to get to this 1 kilo of purified isolate. It's basically organic chemistry 101. You're dealing with rotary evaporators, you're dealing with Buchner funnels and vacuum-assisted filtrations, you're dealing with fractional distillation stills. So yeah, the lab's pretty advanced, especially for cannabis industry. The benefits of CBD are still being discovered on a daily basis. Generally speaking, it's an anti-inflammatory and antispasmodic. It's a neuroprotectant. People are using it for everything from breast cancer to epilepsy to aching joints and stress relief. So we've seen CBD change people's perception of what cannabis is on a significant level. Barring any unforeseen federal intervention, I see the future of CBD as largely limitless, right? I don't even think CBD necessarily belongs in a dispensary environment. I think the future of CBD is in everybody's home food and or medicine cabinets. It'll become more and more commonplace as people realize what it is and what it can do for you.
CBD, short for cannabidiol, is a non-psychoactive compound in cannabis responsible for many of cannabis's medical benefits. On the other hand, THC, short for tetrahydrocannabinol, is the psychoactive compound in marijuana that causes the high associated with cannabis use. They are two completely separate cannabinoids, which are a class of chemical compounds that interact with special receptors in our body called cannabinoid receptors. Dr. Sanjay Gupta, an American neurosurgeon and CNN's chief medical correspondent, changed his stance on the prohibition of cannabis while investigating its powerful therapeutic properties and witnessing CBD successfully treat Americans. He shocked mainstream America, saying, "We have been terribly and systematically misled for nearly 70 years in the United States, and I apologize for my role in that." Through Dr. Gupta's review of the history of cannabis, he found that it has been a legitimate medicine for at least 3,000 years. And Dr. Gupta isn't alone in supporting cannabis research. The director of the National Institute on Drug Abuse, Dr. Nora Volkov, testified before the Senate saying that CBD appears to be a safe drug with no addictive effects, and the preliminary data suggests that it may have therapeutic value for a number of medical conditions. Research has shown that CBD can influence many conditions and bodily functions, including inflammation, neuropathic pain, autoimmune disease, energy regulation, metabolism, reproductive function, appetite, depression, anxiety, and even cancer. But how can one cannabinoid affect so many bodily processes without causing adverse side effects? The answer lies in our biochemistry, the natural intelligence of the body. We have naturally occurring cannabinoid receptors all over our body that interact with CBD. We have these receptors because our body is constantly making its own cannabinoids. These receptors and cannabinoids make up most of our endocannabinoid system, or ECS. Our ECS is always in action, and if functioning properly, is a major factor in keeping us healthy. Many doctors now think that some people suffer from an endocannabinoid imbalance, known as clinical endocannabinoid deficiency, or CED. People suffering from CED may benefit by supplementing with cannabinoids such as CBD. CBD is the most abundant cannabinoid in hemp, a cannabis crop the federal government allowed individual states to legalize in the 2014 Farm Bill. Hemp-derived CBD is legal in all 50 states, is non-addictive, does not cause a high, and is easy to incorporate into your current health routine.
CBD is short for cannabidiol, a cannabinoid and one of more than 60 unique compounds found in the cannabis plant. CBD is non-psychoactive and does not act on the same neural pathways as THC. CBD can be extracted from the hemp plant. Industrial hemp has less than 1% THC. Hemp is not marijuana. Hemp will not get you high. When extracted from hemp, CBD is legal in all 50 states and works with the endocannabinoid system. Studies show it has many medical benefits. It is a neuroprotectant, anti-inflammatory, and anti-emetic. CBD also shows potential for treating psychological disorders such as anxiety, depression, and PTSD, and is safe and well tolerated in high doses. CBD shows promise for children with seizures. Studies are revealing reductions in seizures case after case, with one recent study showing an 80% reduction in seizures for some patients. Studies and funding in cannabis research have been limited, mostly due to federal laws and government overreach. However, people have already begun to turn to CBD. Do your research. Read and watch thousands of reviews from patients and parents and draw your own conclusion. It's time to increase CBD research.
I mean, something pretty interesting went down in sports, something that might change the game, something that might change lives going forward. I mean, I don't want to overstate that, but it's really interesting to think that the Big Three League was the first league to step forward with this. Now, if you're waiting for some sort of misdirection or a punchline, it's not coming. Yesterday, the Big Three made news when it announced that it would allow their players to use CBD for pain treatment and recovery, and that it's effective immediately. Now, I know that most of you listening right now probably do not know what CBD is. Or some of you listening right now may think you know what CBD is. But in the coming years, I think that it's going to become more and more prevalent, and more people will know about it. CBD is shorthand for cannabidiol. And I'll be honest, I've never used it. But I've done some research on it. And what CBD is an extract from marijuana, and it makes up roughly 40% of the plant. But CBD is not weed as you know it. I think a lot of you hear that and say, oh, great, you're an advocate for burning blunts as a form of pain relief. It's not what I'm saying. CBD is not weed. Weed has THC. THC has psychoactive properties. THC gets you stoned. My understanding is CBD does not. And as the United States has loosened its grip on weed, the research into the plant has become more and more widespread, more and more available, more and more scientific. And now pulling out CBD from weed without THC has become a more common reality. I mean, something you can buy in edible form over the counter if you're 21 and your state allows it. So why is CBD important? Because it can help with stress relief, anxiety relief, and most importantly, pain relief. And it works. So it's an alternative. It's a healthier alternative, a natural alternative. Instead of getting into a bottle of addictive pain pills and opiates, you can get into a bottle of non-addictive CBD.
Last thing, you mentioned the CBD. It seems like a lot of fighters are now using CBD to treat themselves after training, after fights. How important has that been to you?
It's been very important, and I think we all learned about CBD from Nate Diaz, the Diaz brother. Like, he's the first one that I learned about CBD from, and I'm glad he stood up for us and they made it legal for MMA fighters. So thank you, Nate. I appreciate that, man. Much love on bringing CBD, you know what I'm saying, out. Let us know about it. You know what I'm saying? It's incredible. It's been helping me out a lot.
What does it do? Like, how does it help, do you think?
It's helped me with my swelling and stuff, like, and my pain. Like, before I couldn't even really do push-ups and stuff because I had tennis elbow. And I'm like, how did I get tennis elbow? I never even played tennis. Not one. I haven't played not one game of tennis. Doctor tell me you got tennis elbow. I'm like, dude. And CBD, like, wipe that right out.
I mean, something pretty interesting went down in sports, something that might change the game, something that might change lives going forward. The Big Three announced that it would allow their players to use CBD for pain treatment.
Iggy has your traditional English Bulldog stubborn personality.
We referred to him as a grumpy old man. He's getting older. He's a senior dog. I'm getting older also, so we're almost the same.
Sometimes he just likes to be left alone. He likes things a certain way. He doesn't like something out of his routine.
He's family. He's not just a dog. He's not just a pet.
We don't really see him as just a dog that you put outside or you ignore. We say good morning to him every morning. We take our son over to him. We say good morning, Iggy. Every night before bed, we say good night, Iggy. Iggy and I met each other when he was put up for adoption by his previous owner.
He found us. And seeing Iggy, we thought he would be a perfect fit for the family.
Me being a previous Bulldog owner as well, I knew that a Bulldog owner only knows what a Bulldog needs. And so I didn't want him to be adopted by someone who just liked the idea of having a Bulldog. I started giving Iggy CBD oil because he went through a lot of trauma and he was having a lot of anxiety. He went from being with one owner for 7 years to coming to a new family in one day. He met us one night and came to us the next day. And then 7 months later, here came our son, Calvin. So a whole nother reason for Iggy to become very anxious and have some anxiety. Quite honestly, he was a little miserable just because of everything that he went through. So we were really just looking for a way to control his anxiety, reduce the aggression, because you can't have aggression in your household when you have a baby.
And we had alternatives. We went to the vet and there were medicine and sedatives, and we just felt those avenues were not what we wanted to kind of go down. And we did our research with CBD oil and we thought this would be a better avenue to try rather than sedated or any other type of medication out there.
The results since we began giving him the CBD have been life-changing, to be quite honest. It was almost miraculous. I know that sounds kind of cheesy, but he literally went from being this anxious, aggressive dog to just being a normal dog again. You could tell that he was happy again. He was happy to be a part of the family. And we were happy to have him as part of the family again. It was literally just overnight and just life-changing. We give Iggy 7 drops in the morning and 7 drops at night. We do it with breakfast and with dinner. I just put the 7 drops on a treat and I give him the treat.
So the dosage of CBD oil that we give to Iggy is, we didn't just guess about it. We checked out the Innovet website for the proper dosage.
Other benefits that we've noticed with the CBD is his coat. It's beautiful, and actually when we took him to the vet, she said he has beautiful skin and coat for a Bulldog. If you've ever owned a Bulldog, you know skin issues are almost on every single Bulldog has skin issues. And ever since we started the CBD, he's beautiful. I mean, he gets comments all the time and compliments all the time about how beautiful his skin coat is. His folds aren't typical of a Bulldog. They're really healthy. His ears are healthy.
For other pet owners out there who are having issues with their family pet, please don't lose hope. It was tough for us being a new dad, a husband, raising our son, and then bringing Iggy into our life. I'll be honest, it got a little tough at home, managing everything. We could have looked at the easy way out of passing on Iggy to another family, but we didn't lose hope, and that's why I could just say for other family members, please don't lose hope. Reach out, do your work, go to the website Innovet, and they'll definitely help you out for you and your family.
I would definitely recommend Pure CBD to other pet owners. Like I said, it was completely life-changing, and it was a miraculous transformation with Iggy, and so I would highly recommend giving it to your animal.
CBD is the latest thing people are using to help a myriad of medical issues, from sleeplessness to anxiety. But can the cannabis derivative help your pets too? CBD for your furry BFFs on The Lowdown.
CBD is a compound derived from the hemp plant. No, it won't get you high, but studies say it has significant medical benefits. While it may help us humans, what about our pets? Veterinarian Dr. Josh Sosnow takes us through what you need to know before giving it to your furry friend. Starting with, what are some of the benefits?
We find that it's very useful when treating patients who have arthritis, patients who have nerve pain, It can be used in patients that have anxiety issues.
Including storm phobia, traveling, or separation issues. But that's not it.
We find that in some patients, based on the literature that's come out on the human side, that it may be useful managing certain conditions of the gastrointestinal tract, as well as other types of inflammatory conditions that are present in our patients.
Next, where can we buy it?
CBD can actually be found all over.
Pet CBD comes in many forms, including yummy treats, oils, or a balm. You can find it in a wide variety of pet stores, many hemp product shops, and from select veterinarians. Don't want to leave the house though? No worries.
These days you can find it frequently online, both from people who manufacture it and from other retailers.
But don't forget to call your doc so you know what you're getting.
We recommend that when people are seriously considering using CBD, they talk to the veterinarian for a product that has gone through a variety of measures to make sure that they're only giving CBD and nothing harmful.
Finally, let's talk dosage.
One of the benefits that we see with CBD, both on the human and the veterinary side of things, is that it's very hard to overdose. The risks are actually quite small.
But how much do we use?
When we're talking about CBD, it's rare that we're going to come across a one-size-fits-all dosing strategy because it just doesn't exist.
So, to make sure you're given the correct amount to Fido,
contact the veterinarian. The veterinarian has obviously the medical background to understand some of the complications and concerns that one could associate with the use of CBD and would be in a position to structure a dosing regimen.
Thanks, Doc. And that's what you need to know about CBD for pets on The Lowdown.
Hi, I'm Madeline. And this is Bolita. I was on a road trip down in Mexico with my boyfriend, and we were at a local taco stand. She was just a stray dog that was hanging out there getting scraps from the people eating. So we brought her back over the border with us. Bolita is my everything. She is more than just a dog. She is just the happiest part of my day. She's absolutely perfect. When we first got back from Mexico, we noticed that Bolita was walking with a limp. So we brought her to the vet, and they said that she was suffering from chronic pain. The only way to treat it was through these really expensive pain medications. After we gave her the medication, we noticed that her energy went down considerably. She just seemed like a zombie, and she didn't want to play fetch anymore. So we wanted to give her something more natural. Since we started using the CBD, we've noticed a really dramatic change in Bolita. Her energy level is back up, she wants to play, she takes long walks, and she's acting like a puppy again. I chose Innovet CBD because I still had a lot of questions about the product, and a really great feature is that I was able to message the customer support team directly from the website. They gave me all the information that I needed and made me feel much more comfortable and at ease with their product. We've seen amazing results with Bolita, and after doing the research, I know that CBD can be helpful for a number of conditions. There are natural alternatives out there to pharmaceutical medications that are effective in treating your pet.
As dogs age, mobility often becomes an issue. Eventually, the days of youthful running and jumping are replaced with days of lying on the couch or struggling to make it up a few stairs. Canine arthritis is one of the most common conditions in middle to older age dogs. In some rare instances, even younger pups can also be affected by arthritis. The good news is that there are multiple treatment options for canine arthritis, CBD being one of them. Before we discuss this super cannabinoid, let's quickly cover what arthritis is and how it affects your dog. In the simplest terms, arthritis is a painful inflammation and stiffening of the joints. Attached to the end of each bone in a joint, we will find a layer of cartilage. This cartilage protects the bone and, with the help of the surrounding synovial fluid, provides a thin cushion between the bones during movement. As the dog ages, this layer will begin to thin and deteriorate. During the thinning process, cartilage cells die and enzymes are released that cause painful inflammation. Over time, the cartilage becomes too thin, allowing the bones to come in direct contact with each other. As a result of this friction, new bone growth will occur, making the surfaces rougher and eventually lead to more damage. Arthritis is a permanent disease that will affect most dogs. This condition is progressive, irreversible, and increases in pain over time. CBD is a non-psychoactive cannabinoid derived from the hemp plant that can play an important role in treating arthritis. It is shown to carry therapeutic properties that assist in improving the condition of the dog while protecting the joints at the same time. Many veterinarians and pet owners are now using CBD oil as an effective holistic option. Did you know that CBD oil is also a natural pain reliever? Cannabinoids help in controlling pain by inhibiting the transmission of pain signals from the brain. Aside from reducing pain, CBD oil also helps in suppressing chronic inflammation. Unlike prescription drugs, CBD oil hasn't had any reports of dangerous side effects. It doesn't damage the liver, kidney, or the gastrointestinal tract. It will also not get your dog high or sedate them. An added benefit of using CBD is that you can use it with the traditional treatments and medications. Some studies show that there are synergistic benefits between traditional medications and the use of CBD. Administering the CBD is easy. You can put a few drops of the oil into your dog's mouth directly, mix it with the food, or buy treats that already contain a therapeutic level of CBD. Studies have shown that using CBD oil for canine arthritis has improved pets' comfort level, even while suffering from this degenerative disease. Most dog owners that use CBD to treat canine arthritis report that their dog starts to become more physically active after several days of using the CBD oil. With the widespread sharing of these results, it's no wonder why using CBD to treat canine arthritis is now becoming a popular choice.
Going to the barn is the most relaxing thing. It's a spa with dirt and smells and just life. Hi, my name is Kelly, and my horse's name is Tattoo. Tattoo is a Missouri foxtrotter. He was born in 1991. He was Breeder Cup champion. He was a stallion till he was 10. He has 41 babies that are champions. He's a lot of work as he gets older. Tattoo is now 27. He is retired. He doesn't want to push himself. He doesn't want to trot and canter and run wild. I want to make him comfortable as he ages. I don't want him to have aches and pains. So I started giving Innovet pellets to Tattoo because he was off. He had a little bit of a limp. He started to get sore joints. Since I've been adding the CBD pellets to Tattoo's grain, he's not as sore. He's not off in his shoulder or in his feet. His trot picks up a little bit better. Tattoo seems way more comfortable and at ease. The gals at the barn have noticed a big difference in the way Tattoo is. And I show them that it's the hemp pellets. I totally recommend hemp pellets to all of my horse friends. It helps with so many things, with their aches and pains and their anxiety. It's the best. Even though he's older, he's still my champion.
My name's Erica Hanley. I'm from San Diego, California, and this is my 11-year-old American Bulldog, Murphy. I met Murphy 6.5 years ago in 2012 to the Escondido Humane Society, and so I saw his face and we sort of locked eyes, and I went up and had written his number down and asked if I could see him, and the staff immediately said, "Oh my God, he's our staff favorite, absolutely." And the first thing he did was roll over on my feet and show me his belly, and I knew right then that he was my dog. We've been together ever since. In August of 2016, Murphy was bitten by a rattlesnake. We had just finished an on-leash hike, and right when I let him off leash, he noticed a rattlesnake crawling behind the car, and he went to check it out, being a dog, and the snake, being a snake, bit him. And then they engaged in a full-on fight. He was bitten 5 times, and the only reason they stopped fighting was the snake bit him in the eye. 1 month to the day after his snake bites, he had developed a golf ball size blood-filled tumor, and it burst. And I didn't know what to do because we already owed the vet $20,000. And I called the vet anyway, and he said to bring him in immediately. And that's when the tumor started becoming more and more progressive. So he's had 8 surgeries since August of 2016 to remove tumors. One day I was watching I Pity the Bull online, and John Flores was talking about something called koi CBD oil that he uses in some of his dog's food. And in January of 2018, I was told that the vet had performed the last surgery possible on Murphy's prepuce. It's his foreskin. And they said that if the tumor came back, that would be it. So while they were performing surgery, I messaged Koi and found out about the dosage, and I immediately purchased it, and I received it within 2 days. And since then, there has been absolutely no regrowth, and it is now May 17th of 2018. What I give him is the full spectrum CBD oil, 1,500 milligrams. And as you can see, Murphy's a pretty happy guy, and he's still with me. I'm happy and so grateful for every single day that we have together. We've been on many adventures since then. He has developed sort of a puppy-like behavior since then. I never knew him as a puppy, but he's always been a slow-moving dog. He's an American Bulldog. He doesn't move fast, but he runs now, and he's just a really good boy, and I'm so grateful to this product. I can't say enough good things. Even if it's not going to save your dog's life, it will extend your dog's life and give both of you a chance to enjoy each other longer.
Hi, I'm Tammy Maples. I'm one of the owners here at Jungle Exotics. We are an animal compound in the San Bernardino Mountains. Zuri came to us, we were filming a movie, and he came as one of the cubs for the movie. Zuri's a very sweet lion. He has an amazing personality. I think that's what, drew us all to him as a baby, and, he kind of like draws everybody in that meets him. 6 weeks after we got him, we noticed that he had some issues. He has seizures. We started giving him CBD oil because he's under other medications as well for seizures, but they weren't all holding. Vets don't know exactly what the dosage is for everything. So the CBD oil was just a maintenance to try to slow down and stop the seizures. It's been about 8 months since he's had his last one.
I had seen that you guys, distribute to pets in general, so I had the idea of, well, I wonder if that would be good for a lion. Zuri, he's on a few different types of anti-seizure medications. I know one's zonisamide and another one's phenobarbital. We definitely enjoy the CBDs more over, administering medication. Working with Innovet has been very good. You guys are quick to answer, and your generosity with helping us to experiment with the CBDs and see if it was right for the lion was very awesome. We appreciate it.
I would definitely recommend Innovet's CBD oil to any other animal owners that are having issues like this. You should never give up hope, and that you should always be looking beyond traditional methods of what you can do to help.
Well, it's a medication that a local dog rescue says comes with a stigma, but now supporters are out to change that. The Now's Tori Cooper takes an in-depth look at how one local rescue is using CBD oil on their rescue animals. Tori?
Jessica, Marley's Mutts is a nonprofit organization that rescues and helps rehabilitate dogs from Kern County's high-kill animal shelters. And tonight, officials and vet techs of the nonprofit are sharing their experience using cannabidiol to treat a variety of symptoms and what the results have been so far, in hopes that people can get a better understanding of its benefits.
This is Naji.
Naji came to us from Saudi Arabia.
And before today, Naji was roaming the streets of Riyadh somewhat like this, before being found by locals who couldn't afford to help him without extra assistance, and eventually reached out to the Kern County nonprofit Marley's Mutts Rescue.
So the problems that we had when he first came to us were obviously getting weight on him and figuring out how to best treat his paralysis. Never in a million years did we think he would start to support himself on his own weight.
With the odds stacked against Naji, Zach Scow of Marley's Mutts says they turned to CBD oil. And even though Scow says he was skeptical in the beginning, he saw significant changes that he believes CBD oil laid the foundation for.
A couple of weeks ago, he started to work to support himself on his own legs, which is remarkable. He started to have functionality in his back end again, which is completely unheard of.
Scow has over 100 dogs right now in his rescue program. And he says 100% of the dogs on the ranch are currently being treated with King Canine Krill CBD oil for pets.
It has had an anti-inflammatory effect. It's had obviously helped with his arthritis and clearly improved functionality and feeling with his paralysis. So we've seen a variety of different benefits, including demeanor.
Scow says Naji no longer has separation anxiety, is no longer intimidated by other dogs or people, and Naji is not the only success story he has seen.
He's very easy to get along with other dogs, and he doesn't alert bark all day, which is terrific.
Before CBD oil, Scow says Gary could not stop barking and seemed stressed out and uncomfortable. And even though Scow says he's not a veterinarian, in his 15 years of experience working with dogs, King Canine CBD oil has shown only helpful side effects in his dogs. And King Canine CBD oil distributor Jeff Ryman says not only is his product sufficiently lab tested, but he has to remind customers that CBD oil compounds are not the same as marijuana THC compounds.
In marijuana is THC and CBD.
What we sell is a CBD product, no THC, so it's an extracted oil from the hemp plant.
Ryman says many people just need to shop the right CBD oils that are lab tested thoroughly and have QR codes like this on the back of the product that when scanned show you all about the test it's gone through. But vet tech of Marley's Mutts, Angela Aiden, says it's still important to keep in mind that some CBD oils can still have small levels of THC, which is the psychoactive compound found in marijuana that makes people feel high.
You can get CBD products with different ratios, so it could be like 2 to 1, which is like 2 CBD, 1 THC.
Aiden and Scout monitor the changes of all the dogs on CBD oil by tracking their behavior and physical changes before and after they leave the ranch. They also administer CBD oil to dogs that are healthy because of the calming effects of the lavender oil within it and the krill oil that contains omega-3s that aren't commonly found in a dog's diet. But Scout says he would still give dogs CBD oil with small ratios of THC in it as well because of what he has seen with his own eyes.
I've used cannabis oil with THC in it for dogs that were suffering from a variety of different conditions. When I needed appetite, these are dogs that were either dying of cancer or had gastrointestinal infections that were preventing them from eating, and administering CBD oil with cannabis helped save their lives.
Now, if you are thinking about administering CBD oil to your dog, make sure it is lab tested, that your dog is getting the proper dosage daily, and it never hurts to consult your veterinarian.